Big news yesterday. We're looking at turnarounds here. Brian Callahan got fired by the Titans. And the Titans, of course, moved on from Mike Vrabel, which I didn't understand why, but they moved on from Derrick Henry. They moved on from A.J. Brown. And you start to go, you know what the problem is? Probably the people in the front office there. But if you look at this team, 4 years ago, you're thinking, all right, they still got a good nucleus. They got 12 wins. So here, Mike Munchak lasted 3 seasons, Ken Wisenhunt 2, Mike Mularkey 2, then Vrabel, and then all of a sudden they chase him out the door. Brian Callahan comes in, and he goes 4-19 before he got fired. Keep hitting the reset button, and then you got to come to the realization that it's the ownership, front office, that seems to be the problem. But they have the fire and hire. They're really good at this. John Robinson, GM, fired in 2022. Rand Carthon, hired in 2023. Mike Vrabel, fired in 2024. Brian Callahan, hired. Rand Carthon, fired. Mike Borgonzi, hired in 2025. And Brian Callahan has been fired now yesterday. And I start to look at this, and, when you look at young quarterbacks, I always talk about give me continuity. Because it's not fair. You bring these kids in, they're supposed to be saviors, and then you don't have stability for them. And that's what they need. You can't keep churning through OCs and head coaches. You can't. And I never would have brought Brian Callahan back. He won 3 games last year. You were going to take a quarterback. Unless you felt like that guy is the guy, then you don't fire him now. Like, what happened? How surprised are you? And how much of this is on him that all of a sudden you guys are still bad? But I wouldn't have brought him back. I said I wouldn't have brought him back. I don't know Brian Callahan. I just look at these scenarios here. Like Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland. If you're going to take a quarterback next year, are you bringing Kevin Stefanski back? And I would say no, don't do that. Brian Daboll with the Giants might keep his job because they took Jackson Dart, and they were probably told, you got to play Jackson Dart. His future is attached to him. But they might move on from him. And then all of a sudden, he's got a new OC and he's got a new head coach. It's not fair to these quarterbacks. Caleb Williams, he's got some bad habits. But, remember Matt Eberflus? I said you got to give him stability. I didn't think he was a great coach, but if you're going to keep him in there to have stability, great. But these owners who bring their coaches back and then they get rid of them halfway through the season. Was it that tenuous to begin with? And if it was, then don't bring him back. You're looking at these quarterbacks and you're going, hey, go out there and be a star. Trevor Lawrence, he had Urban Meyer. Bryce Young, Frank Reich. Caleb Williams, Matt Eberflus. Cam Ward, Brian Callahan. Do you see a theme here? You draft a quarterback, and then you have a coach, and then you fire your coach. 4 quarterbacks taken first overall have had their head coach fired during their rookie season. That's the last 4. And Frank Reich didn't want to start Bryce Young. Go back to draft night. Sal Paolantonio reported this is who they're taking, and who they're taking will be their starter week 1. That is terrible. That is irresponsible by ownership. And Frank, who played the position, did not want to take Bryce Young, or didn't want to play Bryce Young right away. Caleb Williams got in there. All of a sudden, now you have turnover there. Trevor Lawrence, the Urban Meyer debacle. And now Cam Ward. We're looking for them to be great. And sometimes that's where the quarterback who's taken in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round can have more success because they'll watch for a little while. And then they'll get into a stable situation or a more stable situation. There's a reason why these teams are drafting, number 1. They're bad. That's the problem. Jared Goff sat. Mahomes was different, but it's kind of crazy. The logic of we're going to draft a guy, play him right away, the coach is on the hot seat, and then we're going to get rid of him. And then we're going to expect Cam Ward to get better here his rookie year. And that's not going to happen. But this is malpractice with the Tennessee Titans and the fact that Mike Vrabel and the Patriots are coming to town this week. You can't script it. You can't.